So we have our Wordle solver, and you can look at part 1 for the video to show us how we built the Wordle solver. Now we want to start to optimize it by, when we pick words, like I picked the word pizza, and then I picked the word night and Tygon and so forth, so forth. You want to pick words that are that will optimize your strategy. When you're doing Wordle, there's several things that you can do to improve your chances. Firstly, you are picking a 5-letter word. Now, every letter you pick there is giving you information for the word. So if you pick 5 unique letters, you are getting 5 unique pieces of information. For example, the first word pizza over here has 2 Z's. So really, when we're solving this, we're only getting 4 pieces of information from this. And additionally, Z is not a very common letter. So it's only eliminating a small amount of words that don't contain Z. We want, ideally, words that have unique letters and words that have big, impactful letters that are going to either eliminate or choose large portions of the 13,000 words that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by writing a list of all the letters. Now, I will just paste that because I assume you know how to put down all the letters of the alphabet. Oh, there we go. So we have all the letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What we want to do is we want to, and we're going to name these over here, run 1, run 2, run 3, 4, and we don't need to do run 6. So what we want to do here is we want to find how many times A appears in the words that are available in run 1. To solve this, so we want to find how many times A appears in all these words over here. We will go to this link that I would have pasted in the bottom, where it's count specific characters in a range. And what that will allow us to do with this formula is look at all these particular letters over here and find how many times our thing is in there. So we're going to just use this particular formula over here, sum product. And so sum product it runs a particular formula under each different square, and the particular formula we're using here is we're finding the length of the word minus the letter that we want, and that will say how many times that letter is in there. So for example, if we have the word cat, but we want to say without the letter, we want to find how many times A is in the word cat, we get the original length of the word cat, which is 3, minus it by the word cat, but the A is removed, which is going to be 2. So it's going to be 3 minus 2 will give us a number of 1. Add that on a whole large array of things. So if we go over here to the solution, we're just going to paste this in here and we will deal with the extra stuff we have here. So the length we want is the length of all these particular words here. So if we go to run 1 and we press this whole entire column here, and we say the length, and we want to substitute this particular length, this over here, we want to substitute this, instead of O, we want to substitute O with our letter A over here. And in our particular one here, we don't want the A value to, as we scroll it down, we want our A value to stay, so we want the 3 to be locked. And we want to replace the A with nothing. So if we press enter, we see here 5,989 words have the letter A in them. Or sorry, A appears 5,989 times in all those words. And if we just scroll all the way down, oops, something happened. Silly me, we locked the A. We're supposed to lock the other one. So we're just going to highlight over L3 and press F4 until we get the L is the locked one, and then we should be able to scroll down, and will this give us some values here? So yes, we see Z is 493 times. I believe the least common word is the least common letter is Q, which is I thought a bit interesting. And I thought it was interesting that Z appears more than X, and that J is really, really underrepresented. The most common letter here looks like it's either E and S are very close. S, I believe there's a lot of words that have multiple S's in them, and I do believe Scrabble didn't include, I'm pretty sure it doesn't include words that end in plurals. I don't think they bother putting that in the dictionary. So if we include words with plurals, I mean, literally give everything an S, right? So we have this list over here, and these is what I like to call the letter score. So what we're going to do now, we can actually also increase this by dragging it along here, and this particular one, we want to, hold on, we want to actually lock in this B, so this B doesn't change, and lock in this B so this B doesn't change. So, oh, no, don't give that one, please. Lock in this B so that doesn't change, and lock in this B so this doesn't change. And press enter, and then drag that down. And then I want to drag this across, and then I want to change this from run 1 to run 2. And so A appears 0 times, which should make sense because A was a 0 answer over here, so A should not appear at all in run 2. Let's go run 3. So this is going to give a different word strength. The letters are going to have different strengths as they go through. They somewhat correlate to their original power, but it is not a direct correlation. Go through here, and then we'll just drag this down, and we should get a, I mean, if it's calculating, oh, nice. We're getting some numbers, so I is still very big because I guess I should be, because I is the one that was definitely guaranteed in the, I was one of the guaranteed answers, so it should. And this number actually is higher than the, if we look at our run 2, is actually higher than our highest value because there's words that have multiple I's in them. So that's a bit fascinating. So now we want to use this word strength. So what we can do here is we can go to our run number 1. Now we don't want to deal with anything from here onwards because this is our lovely clean formula that works. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to give a word strength to all the individual letters inside this word. So what we'll do over here is we'll use our, we're going to be using our, we don't have to use our index function here, because index matching, because we are dealing with stuff in alphabetical order and it's a nice clean small amount of letters. We can use the simple lookup function for this particular formula. So we just want to look up, we're going to look up this particular value here of A, and then we want to say where we're going to look that up. We want to look that up over here, and we do want to lock this in place, and whatever that value is, we want that to be associated with this over here, and then we can close that bracket, and if we press enter we should have, hey, there we go, A is associated with that. I believe this solution over here, I want to actually lock that because when I drag it, we want to get 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and so the first two are 5,000 because they're both A's, but then the other three, yeah, there we go, they're all the numbered together. And then to finish this off, we're just going to add them together. Now, editor's note, which is my note over here. I'm just choosing to add up these numbers together to give what I like to call a word strength, because if these individual things are letter strength, if you add them up together you get word strength. I don't know mathematically if you multiply them together, if that is more efficient than if you add them together. I'm just adding them together. As we saw, we originally got our answer previously, but I'm just adding them together. If I do have a tester. If somebody is doing this with a software, you can try and show if there's any difference if you multiply or add them together. But let's just add them together for now. The next thing we need is we need to find a way to give more value to cells that, we need to give more value to words that have 5 unique letters. So this is, we have this link over here. We want to use this one over here. Is it possible to count the number of unique characters in a cell with this Stack Overflow conversation? I just go to this link over here, and I use this particular code that this does have the name that this particular viewer has posted here, and I just copy paste this particular formula. Let me just minimize that again. If I copy paste this formula into here, and instead of G13 I just selected this square over here, we should find out, well, we know that our head should have 4 unique. Wonderful. It has 4 unique, and I believe some of these words should have 5. 3 unique. Wow. Really? Ah, yes, Ali. Do we have any 5s? Surely we should have some 5s. There we go. There's some 5-letter words. We have a beers. Alright, cool. So what we're going to do is we have this sum function over here. The easiest way I saw to relate it is just to give it a power to this one over here. It's crude, and these are numbers that are like astronomical for us mere mortals to understand, but for Excel it's easy. It loves these scientific notation numbers over here. And every time we do this, all the 5 should always be like a whole magnitudes higher than the other ones. So that's a good way to do that. So then we have this horrifically large number over here, but we're going to do even better. We are going to again use our if function to clean all our problems in our life and sweep them under the if rug. We're going to say if this particular square over here equals empty, then don't give us an answer. If it isn't empty, then give us our big summation we have here. So we should have a whole bunch of these empty. And let's just drag this down till we get to a bunch of answers that exist to prove that our formula works. Here we go. Hey, so we have these numbers. So what this is doing now, these numbers here is giving us our word strength of words that are correct. So we will drag this all the way down to the bottom, and actually I'll do that without you here. Alright, it gives us words all the way to correct. But there's one special thing that we're doing only on run number 1. Right? And if you don't want to do the Excel spreadsheet for Wordle, you can use this piece of knowledge to play regular Wordle, and it is what it's doing is giving you the 10 most optimal words to use in Wordle. Well, it's actually not 10, it's less than 10 because a lot of the words have the same letters rotated around, but you get it, right? So what we're going to do here is this particular formula that we have here, this sum copy, we just want to copy this formula again, but we want to get rid of all our if statements, and we just want those big beefy numbers, please. Oh my gosh. Yep, just give us those big beefy numbers, please. And we'll make a list later that has the top 10 strong numbers to pick when you're doing Wordle, and then we will use these ones, which are the optimized ones to do for your runs. So I'll pause and I'll get back once I've copied all the way down to the bottom and show you what to do with that. Okay, we have copied this list over here. Wonderful. The one thing I should have done before I copied all the way down is say what we're going to do with these numbers. So let's go and make 2 columns. The first column we'll do is I want to insert, because I do want to separate these two so we don't confuse them later, is this first column over here is we want to rank the particular power of the words that, well, let's rank the original first, the top 10 words. So we're going to press over here, we're going to equal rank, and we are just going to do the simple thing of pressing that number and the reference of these over here, close, and that should just give us our rank. So there we go, and I believe this is in let's see which number's bigger. Yeah, so 1, because that's 7 to the power of 17 to the power of 13 is a smaller number, so therefore let's just check this number over here that goes to the 21 should be an even lower number, and it is. Yeah, okay, so it's in the 200s. Cool. So this is our rank of our numbers, and if we drag them down to the bottom, it's going to give us the rank of every single word that is out of the base 13,000 words. And then what we'll do is over here we'll say this is equal to rank, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to press this particular tab. We're going to press this word over here that doesn't exist. Can we do this rank? Let's find out. If we have a pause, we'll find out there's something wrong. That over this. No, I'll pause and figure out what I did there. I know what I did. I ignored it in my test. So I believe we can just get it. We should be able to just get it and drag down, and we should get some values when they matter. So let's just confirm when we get down to the letters that actually show up, like these ones. If we do that, we should, okay, we get these numbers, and we only care about the top 10 when we're doing this. So these values are because there's a bunch of zeros, and I believe they all share the same 0 value. You could get rid of that by giving every number a random, like having it plus by a microscopically small number. So use the random function and divide it by 1,000,000, and then that would give everything just a random thing, so you wouldn't get all these zeros. But it doesn't actually matter because we only care about the top 10. It mattered when we were getting a whole spreadsheet, when we're making a whole new sheet. It did matter because we didn't want those dirty values in our new formula, but this should be fine. And we go through and we have all those numbers, and then what we will do, we'll go to our lovely solution page over here, and let's pick over here how are we going to do this. Let's say top 10 words. I don't like how that is too long, but we'll fix that up later. So let's say start, and then let's say run 1, run 2. No, wait, we're starting with our words, so this is going to be run attempt 2. We should just name it after attempts, right? Yeah. Attempt 1, 2, and this one we will go to 6. So attempt 1, what we're going to say is here 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go all the way down to 10. And if we do this, all we want to do here is we can't use the lookup function here. We have to do our match index function because they are not in alphabetical order. So where did I find that particular number from? Alright, so I'm just going to get the code over here for index and match, just because less likely to have a mistake happening if I copy a formula that has already worked. And if I go over here, cool. Right, so what do I want here? I want to get the values of, instead of A1, I want to look for this. Give me the equal sign, please. I want to match this particular number, which is 1. Where do I want it to be matched? I want it to be matched in my run 1. This is the original number, so we want it to find it here in the rank column. And the word I want you to give me with that is, if I press this over here, I want you to give me the word that matches with this. And then I press enter, and we get the word eros. And if you scroll down, we only get 4 words. So I haven't found a way to solve this, but what I deduced is the other words that also have a ranking of 1 are words that are eros with like the letters rotated around. Or I think the words 2 and 3 are both the same word, and the rank doesn't like that. But the point is, if you pick, we have 4 words over here. And I think, like, if we want, we can actually scroll down until we get you a bunch of words. So if you want to play Wordle and you just want powerful words, pick the word eros because it has used in the most words. Then let's just copy paste this thing over into our 6 different attempts, and let's just change our numbers over here. No, we can't just change our numbers directly. We got to do this one custom. Our numbers are still the same. We want run 1. We want BB. So we just want to press the F4 button with that. We want, instead of D7, we want that, and we want to lock the C column in with that. But instead of it being AS to AS, we want it to be this one of the edited. We want it to be this column over here. Is the column we want to find. It's looking up run twice. We don't need run twice. We just need run once. Okay, we do this and we press enter and L. That makes sense. Where do we get L from? Oh, it's done C. We don't want C, we want B. Did that fix? Liars. And then we scroll down to 10. I want this to be neater, so I'm actually going to get rid of these. If that's alright with all of you. So we've got liars, rights, rinds. These would have been the ideal words. If we look over here, we see that obviously they'll have the I, but then they have L, E, which is a big letter. I think L is the big one, and S. Yeah, E and S are big letters. Yeah, actually, if I can I actually color code these? Let's color code these so we can see what are the good letters to use. So if we color code this, we can see we want letters that use I, S, E, L. Yeah, that's basically it. R is also pretty good as well. And then once you get down to here, well, there's only a few options once you get down to run 3 and 4 onwards. So this rapidly decreases that. This rapidly decreases the amount of available runs. Let's see, is locked in place, and what is this doing? We want this to be locked in place, please. And if we drag this across, we want now, this is going to be from run number 2. Run number 2. Oh, we have to paste this in our run number 2, but we'll do that later. Run number 2, and then run number 3. All we have to do is make sure when we paste it that we do this in the AN column, and then everything will be fine. 4, and if you get up to it, you need 5. So how will we put these in? And let's just drag this down, and if we're lucky, we should get a bunch of letters, a bunch of words out. So we just did run 1. We want I believe we want, yeah, okay, so we want to copy everything from, let's go everything from AD to AN. Copy, yep, so AD, and I believe, yep, that's in there. So if we go to our solution, hey, we already have our attempt 3. We have down to 3. Let's go over here, same thing, AD, paste it away. And run 4 and 5. I'm just going to paste those. It's freezing my computer because they're quite big. So I'm just going to, as you see there, I've got a memory warning. So I'm just going to, I'll be right back and post those in. Okay, we're back. So one thing I noticed over here is if I go down to run number 5, we see over here we're still getting numbers like 3,000s, which doesn't make sense because there's not 3,000 letters here. So what I forgot to do when I pasted these runs in is we've got to look where they were getting their values from. And so I was looking up B in L3 to Yeah, looking in the L column, and if you look here, the L column is, well, yeah, that makes sense, but I believe it's also looking at the M for where to get the answers from. And if we go over here, yes, it's looking at the M. So we actually want to change this one to be N to N, and I believe then I can drag it across, and that should clean that up. And I don't need it to go much further than oh, this had 900, so we have to go to 1,000 for this one. And then we'll just do the same thing I did last time, where I believe it's going down to 13,000. We're just going to delete the bottom ones, because it's a big Excel file now. This is a good time to remind you, when you're working with these big Excel spreadsheets, to constantly save your work, because all you need is one mistake where you try to select too many cells down to the abyss and your entire system freezes up. So just make sure you do that regularly. I just saved mine then, and luckily the computer recovered from it. I just want to delete all these 12,000 or 3,000 answers down to the 1,000 by using Shift, and I'm pressing that because I don't need these. I can really significantly shrink the size of my document if I delete these, and this is using all 6 cores of my CPU, and it's still doing it at a slow pace, so I'll unpause when that happens. Right, so it looks like it's been done. I can now go all the way to the top. So now these are using the letters that are, you should change the word. If we go to our solution, well, we still have liars. Actually, do we still have, has anything even changed with these attempts? I don't think so. But, you know what, there's a potential that something could change. We have these lovely words over here. Did they... Yeah, that's all those summed up together. Where is liars? How big is that? Liars is okay. 6664. No, wait, sorry. Is it 6664? Where's the sum function? Oh, but liars doesn't exist in here. What did I forget? Oh, this is the sum. Okay. How can none of these? That can't be right. Let's go to 1,000 and see what happens if I drag this down. Did I not drag this down last time? Right, why do none of these work? If that is a value, but some of these should be a value. Why is this not working? Give me a second to see what's happening here. What were the solutions from this step? Attempt number 2 was night, and so we should have Tygon. Let's go down to Tygon. Okay, we have... Alright, so these are the ones. So it should be picking one of these values. So it should be picking these values over here. It should be picking these AN values. And if we go to our solution over here, oh, we're still on... When I froze and unfroze, we mustn't have gotten... Oh, I gotcha. So instead of picking night, when I did this attempt, I should have picked liars, but we didn't. So this is attempt number 3. We got these ones over here, which makes sense. We should pick Tigers, Tiger, or Tygon. And then we go to attempt, so when we do our run number 3, then we will have to clean all these values up again, because I don't want to hog all my processing power to do irrelevant cells. And I think this one went to 500. Yep. Let's just delete all those, and it still takes time. Okay, we're back. We have to change these again. So L, M, N, I believe these are O. These should all have small numbers. And why are those? Oh, okay, because it's to the power of 5. And that's still 3, 4, okay. Is it really that big a number? 3 plus 3, that's 9. 3, so it's 12. 12 to the power of 5. Alright, cool. That's 12 to the power of 5, still a big number, and this one doesn't exist. So at least we're seeing, well, we're seeing sort of real numbers now, which is nice. I wonder if I just copy this, if it will fix our issue we had before of having the empty cells. AF, let's go to run number 4. Let's go to AF and see if that just cleans it up. I hope it does. Ah, it does, wonderful. Right, so we have AF and L, M, N, O. This is going to be L, M, N, O. These will be the P column. P and P. Yeah, which is, the word strength is getting smaller now because there's these words are found in less locations. And let's just copy these over to the last one as well, for 5, in case you need it. AF. So there you go. And we have all these things that are automatically putting these words in here to search. So let's test this in our new setup. Our previous one, we got tiger in 5 attempts. I mean, we did it badly. We could have guessed it when we got down to attempt number 3. We had 3 options for it. Which now that we're here, let's find out how many cells we have after each attempt. So let's start with what this cell over here is going to determine is what is the maximum number of answers at this particular time. So we start with that many, around 3,000. After our attempt number 1, we have, let's just go over here. We can use this to find out what our maximum number after our first attempt. P to give us that many. This gives us, use our max function on number 3. Night gives us down, no wait, does that make sense? 2 was, yeah. Okay, yep, 2 went up way down to 3. Run number 4. So after we did Tygon equals max. So this is after we do this attempt, that's what we get. So we actually might move these because it makes more sense for them to be over here. So we can, so we can mentally see that they're after. We're back, sort of. Move that square up there, please. And then after attempt number 4, we'll just do attempt number 4. This is after attempt number 5. I've offset them by 1, but whatever. And then we know we were correct over here, so we can actually copy paste this over here. Actually, we don't have a run. This over here is run 2, run 3, run 4. After we've done this, yeah, run 2, run 3, run 4, run 5, we don't have a run 6, because after we do attempt 5, we have this one over here. We have to change where our max is. So instead of looking at row AA, instead we will look at the answers for 5, which will be this over here. Cool. That will give us our answers we have. So let's run this new one. Let's delete these. Hold on. Let's save our work first, and then let's delete. Now, as you delete these things, it's going to freeze up your computer, because as soon as I delete these numbers, it's going to be crunching all these numbers again. So just be patient. Make sure you save before you delete all these terms over here. Let's go and see what happens if we just delete. And let's delete them in reverse order. Maybe that will, if we delete them in reverse order, maybe that will stop the bad things from happening. Right, and what we're going to do is we're going to put in here, we're going to put the word eros, because we'll start with the most powerful word. Eros. Should load up once that stopped freezing. We have the word eros. Let's go to our Wordle and let's start up our, let's refresh it to see if there's any. Okay, we still have tiger in our correct answer here. Let's go to our cookies and let's just remove all our cookies. So we can try it again. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if we can beat 5 with our new enhanced system. Let's arrows. Right, so we have yellow, sorry, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. Let's plug that in here. We go over here. We have 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. System's a bit laggy. I press tab, it should crunch all the numbers here, and we should be getting some answers out from the first run. Okay, we do. We've already narrowed it down to 300. So instead we narrowed it down to 1,000 before. This time we're already doing it at 350. We have liter. So we can actually just copy paste this over here. And we just want to copy paste the value, not the formula. Otherwise, it doesn't like that. While that Excel spreadsheet is doing that, let's just put that word in here and go put in the word liter and see what we get. We have, okay, grey, green, yellow, green, green. So that's 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. Narrows it down to 2 words. We have tiger and timer. Let's just say we picked the most powerful word, which in this case we know is the correct answer. So we can copy and we can paste that number over here. And if we plug that into our thing over here, enter, we have solved it in 3. And even if we got that wrong, we would have still solved it in 4, so it still would have been 1 better than the previous one. Other areas of improvement, which I might do if I want to do a further enhancement, is the game has, let me just type this in so I can just show it for completeness sake. The game has over here an option, which is hard mode, which says any revealed hints must be used in subsequent guesses. The way that we solve this with the Excel spreadsheet, by default, we are playing the game in hard mode. So what this implies is that easy mode is supposed to be easier. So if we picked a mode where we picked Eros, if we then made our second attempt, if we picked, because as we picked Eros over here, we already picked 2 correct letters. Why is that? Oh, the colors. We've got to fix up those colors because those are yellow. Conditional formatting, new rule, 3 color, grey, please. Oh, because there's only... okay, I've got to fix that because there was no 3. Anyway, I'll fix that color up later. I've got to do like an if statement or something. What we will do is we can actually have a hidden... if I make this 1 and this 3, and I just hide these, right? And then I make this will work. New rule, 3 color, just so it hides. Nah, I don't like it. Never mind. I'll fix that up later. So, as we were saying, you have your 3 letters. When we go to our next one, we're actually only using 3 new pieces of information because we are keeping the E and the R. As you see here, we have the E and the R is being used here. So we're only using 3 new pieces of information. If we use this 5, that means we have 21 letters that we can also use over here. We should get those 21 letters and pick whatever the strongest values of those letters are. That means that we should have eliminated a lot more answers. I don't know if it's going to be more powerful. I imagine it will be powerful for some words where we don't instantly like eliminate so many of the words straight away, but that's another potential option to make it faster. Well, that is the conclusion of the 2 tutorials.